running, and if you want tickets, I have a few that I can give away, so feel free to send me a message. Before I left, I dropped off all the orders that I had, so if you ordered before I left the house at like 2 o'clock, then it's either on its way to be delivered to you, or it is ready for pickup at Gahanna, so whichever your choice was. If you ordered after that, I know a couple of people ordered right after I left the house, so I will get those orders out first thing on Monday. So to my understanding, this event is pretty much just like the event I did last weekend in Cincinnati, except this one's in Cleveland. I've had a really hard time so far trying to get like information for like vendor information for the show from the person running it. Like I don't, like, all I have is my booth number, so I don't know like what time I have to be done setting up. I'm assuming it's today. I'm assuming it's very similar to what was done last weekend, so that's kind of just what I'm going by, but I don't have I just have my booth number. I don't have anything saying what time I need to be there, what time I need to be unloaded by. I don't know where I need to park. I don't know when if I can pull in, if there's a different kind of parking situation. So I'm gonna just check into my hotel first so I can get my suitcase and everything out of the car, and then I'm gonna head to the IX Center, which I've never been to, so I have no idea what the parking situation's like there. But I'm gonna figure it out when I get there, I guess. All the whipped latte candles were really popular last weekend, so I made a ton of those before I left this morning. I think it's gonna be a great sales weekend, so I'm really excited. But I will check in with you guys once I get there and figure out what I'm doing. Wish me. Okay, so I got checked into the hotel, and I went over to the IX Center, which is set up so much better than it was in Cincinnati. Like, there's an actual parking lot next to the building where vendors can park, rather than the parking garage I had to park at that was like 3 blocks away. And they aren't letting anyone in right now, but I pretty much begged the lady at the desk to let me in because I'm by myself for one, and it's freezing, and we only have a few more hours to set up. And y'all saw what I went through trying to get everything unloaded by myself last week, so she gave me this magical green slip, and they let me in. I couldn't pull all the way up to my booth because they have some of the carpet down already, but they let me pull into the convention center, which is massively helpful because that cuts like over half of the distance I have to go. I also found a cart nobody was using in there. That helps a lot too, because they're a lot better than the dolly that I have. So now I just have to go take those carts a little bit further to find where my booth. But I know I'm pretty close to it, so it shouldn't take too much longer to find my booth. Then I'll get set up and I'll check in again. So this is my first time at the IX Center, but it's massive. Like, it literally looks like an airline hangar. Back at the hotel. It doesn't smell bad this time, and it has a pool and a balcony, so I'm happy. I don't know if you can tell, but it's snowing here. It is so cold here. That's why I was so grateful that they let me pull my car in. I kept saying let me in. I meant let me pull my car in. They had like cut off the time that you could pull a vehicle in, which I didn't know because they didn't send me that information. But I got really lucky because that lady wrote me a note and let me pull my car in and drop all my stuff off, so I didn't have to do it out in the snow. Another cool thing about this show is, unlike the show I did in Cincinnati, they had like early shopper hours like every day of the event. So like the show didn't officially start till like 10, but we had to get there at like 8 o'clock because like people would buy tickets to come in when it was less crowded, which is good for, especially with COVID, for people to be able to go when it's less crowded. But as a vendor, from an exhibitor standpoint, literally at every show I've ever been to, those like early shopper hours are just like they're just not profitable as a vendor. Like normally we don't make enough of a profit during those times to make it worth it for us to come in that much earlier. So this will be nice because then I can sleep in a little bit, because I don't have to get there until 10. I won't have to sit in rush hour traffic. But if you saw the video that I took, I think I'm in a pretty good spot. It seems like I am like pretty much in the middle of everything, like the food court. They've got like some stages set up around us, and I'm like underneath this big Ferris wheel thing. I'm sure you guys know more about the IX Center than I do. I've never been here before, but it literally looks like an airline hangar. I'm sure it is, 'cause it's right. I'm sure it was like, but I'm sure there's a story behind the Ferris wheel, but it looks really cool, and I'm pretty much underneath that and like right in the middle of everything else. So I think I'm in a really good spot. So I do think it'll be a good sales weekend for us. So I'm excited. I'll add a picture of the map so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I got really lucky. Like initially, like they were already like full when I applied to be part of this event, because they pretty much will like recycle all the vendors that they've had in previous years first before they open it up to other people. And then they also had another candle vendor here already, and so they don't they won't book the same types of vendors at the same event for this. But mine were so different and so unique, they decided they wanted to have mine there anyway. So I got lucky in several different ways with that, and then I also got really lucky in this spot that I got, because it's a really good spot. Like pretty much everything about the setup for this event was smoother and so much easier than it was in Cincinnati. Both my hotel and the convention center are both in much safer areas too than they were in Cincinnati. So the only downside so far to this show is that the electric isn't included for vendors, which normally I just use for this type of event. This time of year I'll use a lot of like Christmas lights, and the IX Center in general is just, they're keeping it very dark for some reason. Like the lighting's not very good, so a lot of people just have lights up so people can see their stuff better. Or I might plug in like wax warmers and stuff like that. That way people can like smell my stuff when they're walking by. But they're charging like $130 to get an outlet to your booth. So I also pack like battery operated lights in case it's a situation like that, because it's just not worth it for me for what I'm selling. It's not worth it for me. You know, there's vendors that need electric to show what they're, you know, to show their, or if you're making like custom stuff at your booth that you need equipment to run to be able to do it. But what I'm selling, I really don't need it. It's just nice to have. So I've got like little battery packs and things I can use to charge my phone and my Square reader, and I've got battery operated lights, so that'll be fine for this weekend. I dare say the show is a little bit bigger than the one in Cincinnati. They definitely have a lot more like food vendors than the one in Cincinnati did. Like the variety of vendors is a lot different. So if you're in Cleveland and you want tickets to go and you don't have them, I have a few free tickets that I can give away, so just reach out to me. I'd be happy to share them with you. And I will check in with you guys later.